Hello, everybody. We're back
Yo,
again.
yo, yo, yo.
Day one of the BWP Summit. We're back with our illustrious guest, New York photographer Shakka. Hey, hey, hey.
Yo, what to do, what to do, what to do.
It's so good to meet with you today. In case y'all don't know, I am Chrissy. I'm your host for the day. I'm from Chicago, but currently based in LA. And today we're sponsored by Adobe Photoshop Lightroom. And because of that, we have a little incredible giveaway that you probably already heard about if you've been in our other little webinars today. So if you use the hashtag BWP Summit on Twitter or Instagram, you can enter to win 1 year free of Adobe photography plans. That includes Photoshop and Lightroom. Get into it. So make sure y'all use that hashtag to get something for free. Okay?
I know that's right. Free is for me. Let's get it.
Okay. So Shaka, thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy. I want to get straight into it. If you could tell us a little bit about you, who you are, where you're from.
Well, my name is Shakka. I'm an iPhone street photographer, born and raised in NYC. And yeah, I just be doing my thing, moving and grooving in the city, capturing the vibrations and the elements. And I'm here to share a little bit of my story with all you beautiful people.
So, street photographer with an iPhone. I remember when that was a new thing and everybody was like, this not real, this not real. And iPhone just like completely elevated. Could you tell
Change
us
the
about
game.
the journey through that?
I started in 2009 with documenting, documenting the streets of NYC or just any city I'm in, put it like that. And I still get a little hiccups with the iPhone type of vibration. People feel like it's not real photography. You're not shooting with a DSLR, you're not shooting with film. It's not considered like on that level. But I have this thing where it's not about the camera you use, it's about the story you tell. You know what I mean? So I'm more.
Oh, you muted yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're back.
All right, we're back. We're back. And I'm all about just capturing the vibes, taking a train in New York City or just any city I'm in. I love commuting on a train and a bus. I just feel like that's like a free ride of just seeing everything around you. And I just capture my images with my phone. I'm listening to my music, I'm vibing, and then just everything just unfolds so magically in front of me. And I have
Yeah.
this like this little gadget right here. I'm just snapping away. And to me, it's like my journal.
Yeah.
It's like this thing where I'm just connected to and I'm being very present with everything around me, which is absolutely magical to see. So I don't have a whole bunch of weight around me, moving and grooving like
Yeah.
that. I keep it in light, keeping it free, keeping it sweet.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
I'm
that's
just
like
capturing that.
yeah, that's the essential pack for street photography. You got to keep it light, whether you use
Yeah.
iPhone or a DSLR or a film camera. Um, I'm also surprised that people are still giving you flack for that. Like, I could see it, back in like 2012, 2013, but still 2024.
Yeah, it's all love though, like it pushes me even more. But nah,
Yeah.
y'all know what you're talking about. Now I'm gonna go extra hard. And I'm gonna show you how, it's about the story you tell. Every photographer to me is a storyteller. And I'm inspired by everyone around me who does art. It's pushing the boundaries as well. How far we can go with art, whether you're
Yeah.
painting, whether you're doing music, anything like that. How far you can push the boundaries with it and not have it confined in a box. You
Yeah.
feel me?
So, can you take me on a little day, a little trip with you right now? What it would be like if we were on the street together? Like, how do you like to shoot? How do you like to move? Um, yeah.
I So all right, on a day with Shaka, me and Chrissy out, we shooting, we in the streets, you know. I really like my work not to be disturbed. I'm keeping a buck. I don't really ask people, can I take pictures of them? I
Yeah.
feel like, if you vibe with me, you and me, we out. It's like we're doing a movie, we're directors. And everyone in my I capture in my lens, or actress or actor. You know, I'm just capturing this real live vibrations. So most of it, yeah, it's all vibes. It's all about like what I want to capture, what I want to take. And everyone I capture is like very unique to me. You know, I love shapes, I love sizes, I love color, I love things that's moving really, really fast. Um, and for me, even though I'm capturing those images, it's still very slow too, as well. Um, how I do it is just like and there's no really particular like style how I shoot. It's just really the essence and the vibes that I capture. Like
Yeah.
if I'm in Chinatown, which is my favorite part in New York City, like Chinatown is like a whole different world. You can go to different boroughs, but when you're in
Yeah.
Chinatown, it feels like you're not even in New York, right? And I love that
Like a
part.
different.
Yeah, it's like this whole different world, and no one's paying attention to you. So you just flowing. You're capturing, you know, people hustling, people selling things, people moving. You're seeing food. You're seeing different cultures, which I find so magical. So I'm just like, I'm in a whole world in its own. If you vibe with me, we're just capturing that.
Yeah. I really like your framework of like the people you capture are almost like actors. It makes me think
Mm,
about the thing that people be saying now where it's like, oh, main character energy or like main character syndrome. And I think about that a lot because I truly believe like we're all in our own universe. And
a
sometimes
fact.
the universes just collide a little bit. You enter mine, I enter yours kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I know you said like you don't typically ask people, especially beforehand. Is there ever a moment where you do allow them to come into your universe and show them afterward and be like, hey, I just grabbed this of you, like here's my IG or anything like that?
It's mostly if I do portrait.
Okay.
Like if it's portraits of people, like you know, I think on my page I had captured some friends of mine, you know, with their daughters. I did like a little series for Father's Day, which is a few years back, but I put it up, you know, little archive vibrations. And people like that, I do ask, like, can I get this moment of you? Oh, yo, check this out. What do you think? Majority of the time I don't, especially if I'm on a fast move. I'm just seeing something, I'm on a go.
Mm.
And I love that part. But I also love when I do capture people. I'm like, yo, what do you think? And seeing their reaction is like priceless, yo. I'm like, oh, you feeling the vibe as well. So we here, we doing this together.
Yeah.
And I also say thank you for allowing me to capture this image of you. You know, without you, this wouldn't even happen. You know, so I'm always giving thanks to the universe for placing me right there at that very moment, capturing this image of people.
Yeah, which you spoke about another project, but since we're talking about it, I wanted to call out Echoes of Tomorrow.
Okay. Yo,
Yes, hold on.
shout out to Mashonda. Shout outs to the whole crew, all the artists who I was had the opportunity to have my work amongst theirs. It's an honor. It
Yeah,
really, really like when I say sis, this is an honor. Like I'm still like flowing on that. Like I'm
yeah,
like, who me? Like me? You see me?
yeah, you.
You know, so
See,
I
every
give
time you got it.
yo, for real, I give the universe the ultimate gratitude. I think Mashonda, NYC Culture Club, Art Genesis, you know, the whole nine for allowing me to tell my story. So I'm truly honored. For real, for real.
How do you get in connection with entities like that? Like, how does somebody else get this opportunity to do a project like this?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like the universe has blessed me this way, and I'm gonna say like being consistent. Consistency is the cheat code. Never giving up on what you're doing. Be consistent. Even you get like on Instagram, you know, even you get like 5 likes. It ain't about the likes. People are seeing your stuff. It might be,
That's
you
about
know,
it.
okay,
Just because they
we
ain't
on a
interacting don't mean they ain't watching.
nah. You got some stingy likes, and that's okay. That's okay. But people are seeing your work. You know what I'm saying? And I want to give it a big shout outs to Black women photographers. Like me doing that video for real, like place this opportunity like right in my lap, you
Wow.
know? So I just always believe being yourself. Always believe in yourself. Always believing in yourself. Even if people don't believe in you, Even people don't even validate you. You gotta validate yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'd be present where like, nah, you getting up every day taking those photos. You getting out in them streets hustling and catching the vibes. You know, you're editing these photos. So you gotta big up yourself as well. And when you do that, the blessings unfold.
Yeah, that's
You feel
beautiful.
me? Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, I'm
Okay.
keeping 100 on this.
And please do,
You
because that's
feel
what
me?
I want. Like, in our last conversation, I think it was with Mickey, it was like, let's just not gatekeep. Let's just say exactly what we do,
But it
how we feel
is.
it is, so that other Black women photographers can come in having a little bit more. Every generation of us got a little bit more.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah.
Um,
And I feel like, you know, with using my iPhone has got me where I am right now. And it doesn't matter what camera you use. It's about the story. Be consistent with your story. Be consistent with what you want to tell. At the end of the day, we are artists. We're very sensitive about our stuff, you know. So if you feel like this is a way of you being creative, then shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. Oh, she's playing the video.
come
Hold on
on.
now. Come on now.
That's important. Shooting your shot is super important. But before we leave this project, I
Mhm.
really want to know, how do you decide how to curate your own exhibitions and the ones that you're a part of? Like, how do you go about choosing which photos, or even like which photos go next to which and things like that?
It's, you know, for me, it really flows on like what kind of like project I want to do talk about. So if I'm doing anything about, you know, the MTA, I want to talk about the subway. I call it like a subway series. I really put all those images together, like kind of like you're navigating through each borough, each part of the city, like everything. I do my very best to fit everything to a story, like more emotions, more feelings. Like, what do I want to see if I go to an art show? You know, how do I want to connect with these type of artists or the work? And I'm also inspired by movies. I watch a lot of movies. I watch a lot of music videos. You know, I'm old school. So I always like kind of flow into that vibration of like, okay, what do I want people to see and what do I want to see, most importantly? Because
Yeah,
if it feels good to my spirit, I know people will connect to it.
true.
That's
Okay, so
it.
let's get back to street photography in general.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, I mean, I feel like street photography can get a lot of love, but like you said, you still get, some flack for being an iPhone street photographer.
Mm-hmm.
How do you navigate that? How do you put yourself out there? How do you promote yourself as an iPhone street photographer? Do you rely heavily on Instagram? Do you feel like when you are pitching yourself that you have to like add a little extra? Like, what's it like navigating this world?
For me, I keep it very simple, very sweet. I really flow with my intuition. Like what
Oh,
really feels good to Shaka, not for anybody else. And I feel like when people connect with that, even if I get 1 or 2 likes on Instagram, those 1 or 2 likes is like, okay, you see me. I'm very consistent with the work that I put out, the stories that I want to talk about, and what how I want to represent any city that I'm in. You know, like you got the Batman here eating pizza, like that. That photo was just very random. I'm like, yo, that's so essential to New York City. That's like some Gotham City type vibration.
yeah, that's so new.
And and I'm like, you know, this is the stuff that I love to see. I love seeing things that's just very different out of the ordinary. I like my work to be very raw and you can feel it. And it speaks about the people around me. You know, I'm very honored to come from an amazing city like this and to move in other different cities where I can showcase that as well. You
Yeah.
know,
Do you
it's
feel
just
like,
being. Sorry, go ahead.
go ahead, finish your thought?
No, I was just saying. I just stay true to what feels good to me. I think that's what got me where I am right now. Just being my real, authentic self.
Yeah. Do you feel like
Yeah,
photography has allowed you to explore like all of New York? I don't know, is that loud? Can you hear that?
I can hear it. It's a little. It got a
Playing.
little pitch. It got a little.
Yeah.
It got a little Mariah Carey pitch, but we good. Um, No, it made me very like gritty. Like, you know, like Frank Sinatra said, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. You
That
know, and okay, like, and I just be vibing with my city. I vibe with any city I'm in, to be honest. I think I can be in Montreal, I can be somewhere in Miami, any city. Like if I'm in it, I'm in it. And I want to see more of it. You know, even though I'm born and raised in New York City, every borough I go to, even though I can go up and down the streets, I've been here before. Every time I go back around, it's something completely different. It's
mm-hmm.
like a whole new world in its own. And that's what I love about it is like, yeah, I'm born here, right? But I see things that people might not see. And that's where I capture things. I'm like, oh, this is different. Oh, I haven't been down this block before.
You low-key reading my mind because I was about to ask, like, do you feel like you've seen it all already in New York, or like that you're still exploring all the time?
I'm still exploring all the time. And I love it. I love every minute of it. Like I could take a train from one stop and take it all the way to the end. And I'm on a train seeing everything completely different. You know, if I'm going to Coney Island, which I love as well, it has a whole history there. If you walk up and down the boardwalk or around the area, you may see some things you never noticed before. I
Yeah.
think getting out of your comfort zone, getting out of your bubble world, and seeing something that's like, oh, this is real. You know.
Considering you focus on street photography and you keep mentioning like going to other cities and like you just love documenting it no matter what, would you ever see yourself doing travel photography?
What about that? I'll be down for it. I'll be totally like in it, especially with the iPhone, right? Like people's not seeing you like moving with something that's small. Like how I capture most of my images is very low key. You know,
Yeah.
I can take photos from my waist by pressing the button. You know, or I ain't gonna hold you. You know, you got this little mic here. There's a button on here.
Yeah.
Okay, you little burst.
Right. Put people on because maybe people don't know. So like what little tips and tricks do you have when you're shooting out? Like shooting by
Mhm.
the hip or using buttons like that? Do you have any like custom settings?
I just like I know my phone. You know, I know where to place my fingers where I want to press. You know, certain where I capture the images. I'll say mostly the mic is great. You press the volume button, you get in your shots. You get a little burst here and there. Um, I do my very best to be discreet as possible. Like the image right there with in Chinatown, they're playing like chess. I'm just in the mix. They're not paying me no mind. So
Yeah.
I'm capturing the vibes, and it was very, very real and very aggressive. But I love that because it shows
Yeah.
like real people enjoying a moment in time with each other.
And
You
your
feel
friend
me?
really makes me feel like I'm you. Like having him so close to this left side of the frame, I feel like I'm just in this little session and I'm watching these older men play this game.
Wow. Bless. That's real. You know, and I'm self-taught. I taught myself,
Oh, yes.
listen, it's all about the vibes and what story you want to tell, and I really love what I do. I really love photography. Any form of photography, to be honest. Like shout outs to the women on the panel earlier. Like I was truly inspired by their work and their storytelling. I'm like, wow, like you're really out here doing it, like, and you're pushing the boundaries. And I'm like, yo, if y'all can do it, I can do it. Matter of fact, we all can do it. You feel me? Like we're pushing art in the way we want to see, especially for Black women. For me, I could say you don't see a lot of masculine presenting like Black women doing street photography. And if, I can break the bridge on that and just open doors in that way, it's truly an honor. It really is.
Yeah, that's so true. Like off the top of mind, I can't name another one. But not for lack of existing, obviously.
Yeah,
Why places like Black women photographers exist because we're here in droves. We're always
right
around.
on.
But how do we find each other? And yeah, then also how do we get these opportunities to
Yeah,
be face of street photography, of music photography, and etc.
absolutely. Like shout out to Polly, like really okay. All right, that's a fact. Like for real, like you are seeing us and you making us see ourselves as well. You know, I think that's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. Like we have support, we have community, we have, you know, I always say take up space like you take up time. You
Oh,
know, okay, let me
that's a
know. Don't
word. Hold
hold
on.
on now. Hold on
Say it
now.
one more time.
Okay. Take up space like we take up time. And if God, you know, the universe gave us this gift and this talent, share it to the world. You know, you can inspire a whole bunch of people behind us. We was inspired, you know, by other artists. You know, why not pass that torch? You know, so here we are having this Q&A, having this vibration, and we're talking about, you know, how we can inspire other people, and we're doing it. We
Girl, you
really are
giving
doing
us
it.
journal prompts. Come
Come
on.
on now. I told you I want to keep it 100. I told you I want to keep it real. It ain't even Sunday, baby. It's Friday.
Okay. But speaking of being inspired, can you talk to us about some of the people you're inspired by?
I am definitely inspired by Vivian Meyer.
Yes,
I'm
Auntie
inspired.
Viv.
Okay, like her work was amazing. I'm
Loaded.
inspired by, you know, Daniel Arnold, Jamal Shabazz. I'm inspired by okay, I'm gonna be keeping it buck. I'm inspired by my damn self. You know, I'm like
Come on. You
I'm
keep
like
saying
Shaka,
it's on Sunday, but it's really giving Sunday.
I'm like Shaka, you did that. And even looking at my old work, right? And how far I've come now, I'm like, wow, you really have grown. I'm inspired by the people around me. You know, I'm inspired by the Black women photography community. You know,
Yeah.
I be seeing people out here doing. I'm like, oh, sis, you did that. I'm like,
Yeah.
let me see now. How can I flip that with my work? You know what I'm saying? Like taking these type of like inspirations and mold it into my own kind of vibrations. You know, so I'm inspired by people who are here really doing it, who are really like pushing the boundaries.
Yeah. I really like this photo here too. It's another
Oh man.
that makes me feel like I am you. Like you do a really good job at placing your audience in the photograph.
Oh, thank you.
Like I've been here before, I've seen this man before, I've walked on that train or I've missed that train. Like this feels just so familiar, and I really love that about your work.
I appreciate that. I really enjoyed that photo. It's so interesting because once that door closed, that's it. You're on the go. So I'm gonna get my shot. I'm gonna get that shot, sir. And it's so
Right.
interesting because you know the train in the cities is so always packed, but it's like it's so real. The hustle and bustle of any city you're in, you're like, okay, everyone's everywhere, you know, and I just love that.
Yeah. Ooh, and these, like, you really capture the essence of the subway. And I got this little joke about the New York subway where it's like, y'all go so down deep. It's like going to the core of the earth. Like, why?
That's a fact. It'd be hot.
It be so hot
It'd be
down
hot.
there.
It'd
I
be
done took
crazy.
5 flights down. Like, where are y'all taking me?
One of the cars may not have no AC, might be too packed.
You
It's,
know?
you know,
But
I call
is another world. Like you really
it is.
transport into just this whole other being. Like this literally looks like a movie set or something. Like what is happening here? Could
Yo,
you tell me
sis,
what's happening here?
that I caught that phone when I used to work for my investor. I used to have to be to work around like 5 in the morning.
Okay.
And I would have to commute, a 2 hour commute on the train. So I'm seeing everything. Like 3 o'clock in the morning, you seeing the real New York, okay? 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. And most of this you're seeing is like the work I put up here is like early in the morning commute. So this photo right here with the guy with the Ghostbusters was on Halloween.
Oh, okay, okay. But
And I was
look,
looking at
that could have been a random Wednesday.
no, I'm telling you, right? And I'm like, yo, this brother's really wearing this Ghostbuster outfit. I gotta get this photo. And then the conductors, these guys come out like, wait, this is amazing. I captured this image and I was like, wow, this dude is really giving me Ghostbuster vibe. And how ironic is like right in New York City,
Yeah.
you know? And you see real people on the subway. It's different when you're outside on the street. But on the subway, you're seeing real people. You're seeing people who are just surviving. You're seeing people who got to go to work and got things to do. You're seeing people who are really just like processing just life in general. And then you're getting a whole like every like culture, every race, everything all underground. Because we all got to take this public transportation, right? So we all in this like one world with each other, and we all surviving. And I love that part, being in the subway.
Yeah, it like puts everybody on the same playing field for even just
Exactly. Yeah, even
now.
if it's like 2, 3 stops, you're seeing like this whole world unfold in front of you.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
as an iPhone photographer, what's your editing process look like? Like, how does your workflow look?
My work is shout outs to like Lightroom, Adobe, like I'll be on the go with mine. Okay. I have the
Oh, yeah,
app.
you did the app? Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if I'm on a train, I'm on, taking the bus, I capture a shot, I edit it right there. I'm like, I gotta edit this. Like I gotta get it in the vibration. Because if I don't do it, I'll forget that's in my phone. Right.
Yeah.
But shout outs to the Lightroom, like having this app on the phone. I'm like, not only can I take pictures, right? I can edit my joint right then and there. You're getting 2 in 1, baby. You know what I'm saying? On the go. On the go.
So we got a question from the chat, which kind of aligns with what I want to ask anyway about this photograph in particular. But Eva Crawford said, have you had any issues taking photos of people who don't want to be photographed, or when you're trying to publish without release forms or something like that? And
Now,
yeah, go ahead.
now with that, when it comes to like publishing any work, I'm very mindful of the work that I use if I'm publishing it. This photo particularly with the brother there, I haven't published that. That's for me to show people. I keep it, where it's at. If it's work that I am publishing, most of it has been with friends I've photographed, or people already ask, hey, can you sign this? Are you cool with me using your images?
Okay.
But most of my work that I have used, I have my work, published with Apple, with the iPhone, which I had got a release. I'm very mindful of that. I use my discernment as well when it
Yeah.
comes to using people's images. But other than that, like I don't ask. I captured the vibe right in there. Like the brother right here was on a bus, and I'm
Mhm.
seeing this light on him. Like, yo, I have to get this shot. Like, if I ask him, it wouldn't be this type of photo. Like the whole image would change. And I captured it, and I have it just to show people, but I haven't used it where it's sold to anybody. Just from people to view and appreciate as much as I appreciate it.
So I wanted to ask that around this photo in particular because I'm like, how did you manage to get this without him noticing? And then like, what happens when somebody notices and they're like, "Did you just take a picture of me?"
Got that. I haven't got anybody like coming up to me like,
Really?
"Yo, you capturing an image of me?" Yeah, like
Oh, you stealthy.
shout outs to the universe, baby, because I've been blessed.
That's amazing.
This image, like, I think I was pretending I was tying my shoe, or I was fixing something with my my sneaker, and I wound up just angling the photo a certain way, and I
Yeah.
caught it like literally like I use my iPhone like photography vibration like it's film. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, then it wasn't meant. That right there, literally, I was blessed to capture that image of him.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. It also reminds me to just stop being so scary because it's like if you out here doing it, but you know what? I never thought about that where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna pretend like I'm tying my shoe real quick, And I think that's so good for people who have an interest in street photography, where it's like, what are different positions I can put myself in to get the thing?
Hmm. It's like you're using your body as well with the camera. It's like everything is as one. It's a flow, and if you really want to capture those images, like you got to go for it. You might get some few like I've been blessed. You might get somebody might cuss you out. I haven't got that. Let me knock on wood, baby, because we don't
Right,
want
let's
those
not go
vibrations.
with
Okay, knock on that. Okay, knock everybody in the chat, knock on for me. Okay.
right.
But I've been like just really blessed for capturing the images that I've been capturing and really feeling the story, like what I want to take, like what stories that I want to like portray. And I think really like going with my gut and capturing the moment. Like I love the one here with the American flag and the guy sitting outside. Um, it just it's like this like one little like piece of like what New York or what America is, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and you're seeing everyday life, you're seeing people doing their best in this country just to get by. And
Yeah,
I was sitting on a bus actually when I caught this photo, and I was like, I gotta get this.
that feels so layered. Like that was a really good shot.
Oh, thank you, thank you,
Which
thank you,
I
thank
also,
you.
Davita did say that she's also from New York and she loves your work and she can feel the New York energy in the chat and in this.
Oh,
Wanted to make sure
yo,
you could say it.
y'all amazing, baby. The love is flowing. I'm here for it. I'm here
The love
for
is
it.
abundant.
The love is abundant, baby.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
add another question from Mona. What do you think is the subject or most important element in street photography? The person being photographed or the environment?
I'll say the environment.
Mm.
Even if the person's in the environment, everything is like, for me, it's like a picture in a picture. You
Mm.
know, everything's a frame, everything's a vibration. I do my very best to capture like the whole essence of the environment around me. And then I place the subject right in it. You know, like the gentleman here with the New York hat, he actually was asking me for some change. And I was like, okay, cool. I was like, can I get a photo of you? And then the smile light up. I'm like, wow. And then I see the New York hat. I'm like, yo, brother, you give me everything that I need and much more.
Mm.
Because it shows, you know, like people in New York we're good people. You know, we're kind people. A lot of people think of New Yorkers as really mean and just like I'm like, New Yorkers we got places to go, we got things to do, you know, but we always show love, you know. So it's mostly the environment. I like the environment around me, and then the people just bring more life to it.
Yeah, definitely. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we got another question in the chat from Anonymous, and it says, though iPhone is your primary camera, do you own and shoot with digital cameras as well?
I do shoot with digital cameras. I don't use it as much,
Okay.
um, but I don't know. I feel more connected with my iPhone. I just feel like I love music too, right? So I'm vibing with the music, and then I got my my camera. So it's like two worlds in just one, and I'm just vibing with it.
Yeah.
I prefer. I do like film. I think like okay, it's different. I will say film is different. It's like once you get that shot, that's it. And I just love the way the sound just like it just snaps. It's a different vibration. Then when you get it developed, it's like, oh my God, I really caught that. Like anything
Yeah.
else on cash there, but I caught that. I'm like, oh, I did that. But
That's the exciting thing about film. I love film so much. Do you have a favorite film?
I like the disposable cameras. I love the one you go right into. Is this
Oh,
is that old school like wind? And it's a
yeah.
snap. I'm like, oh, it's taking me back. I prefer those. I know it's a little pricey, but it's just so light and just like it doesn't feel heavy on you. You can go into a club or you can go somewhere and just get real close to your subject as close as you want it to be, and just you snap and you go.
Yeah. These portraits are so beautiful. I love
Oh,
these.
thank you.
Um,
Yeah,
this
these are
one
some
also
good
on
friends.
the street, or was this a planned shoot?
This was a planned shoot.
Okay.
Some of the portraits here were planned. These are some close friends of mine and people that I admire or I respect. And when we come together, we just bring magic. I love working with friends and just people who are artists because it's like, okay, how far we can push this project or the storytelling, and they trust me in that way, and I love that. I love that they can trust me. Like, okay, I know you Gucci Shaka, so let's do this.
That's what
And
it
we
feels
just,
like.
yeah, bless. These are some, yeah, these are like some of my favorites of
Um,
photographing.
the lighting on this kind of reminds me of this comment that somebody else just put in the chat named Katya. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. But they said, I'm a huge fan of Shaka's, loving this conversation.
Oh,
Shaka just mentioned the light on the guy's face that she wanted to capture, and it made me wonder what makes it seem perfect for you to photograph, and are there any ingredients you're particularly looking for?
I don't think there's any ingredients that I'm looking for. I think when it comes with street photography, like when you got that right light, like you truly blessed with it. Like I just be vibing with Mother Nature. I'm like, bless me what you got, you know, and if I get that, when the light hits, you snap that, even if it's gray, right? I love when people wear something that's very bright because then it
Yeah.
pops in that vibration. That's why I love going down to Chinatown when it's like gray, because I'm like, okay, there's so much light here, there's so much color, and it brings the photo to life.
Yeah.
Even the Envision Fest right here, that was a project I did with
Is it different?
yeah, this one, yeah, that, and I was like, yo, we got to get on the train. Like, if you want to capture these
Yeah, that's
vibes.
crazy. Can you tell us what this project is and what it means?
It was for Envision Festival. It was with BK Circus. They was doing this activation, this project, and they had me and my wife actually be a part of this project. And we wound up taking the train. He was like, let's take the train. Let's be amongst the people in the city. I was like, okay, bet this is my element. And
Yeah.
we wound up literally getting this whole row of seats for them, which was free and open. I was like, shout out to the universe for these seats.
Okay. That's the right number too. Like that's amazing.
Right. And it was right there, perfect underneath the sixth line, the sign there. And I was like, this is a perfect shot because it shows real New York. Because no one's paying attention. You know,
Yeah.
people's just seeing things.
Background.
Yeah, so they got somewhere to go. They like, okay, don't, as long as you don't hold the train up, baby, we good.
Right.
And and wound up capturing this image. And I was just like, this is perfect. Like everything is like, yes, it's intentional, but sometimes it just happens when it happens. And
Yeah.
that's what I love about street photography. It's like you got to get in the moment. And when you get it and you feel it, it's perfect.
That's why I love how you described it. Like, honestly, put it in the dictionary. Like, the definition of street photography is vibing with Mother Nature. It's just like whatever the earth is going to give you right now, that's what you got.
That's what you
Document.
got. You listen, when life hands you lemons, you make lemonade. Anybody got time for that?
Okay.
You make it
I
work.
love you.
You make it work.
Um,
And I grew up like that, you know, you make things work.
yeah.
And I use that in my images. I make it work. And I make what feels good to me. I love capturing what I like to capture. You know, I don't really look for anyone's validation with my work. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I love this. And if you rock with it, then it's good. But I really go with my spirit, and I'm truly honored that everyone is like bigging me up for real. Like, I
Yes, you
love
get all the
y'all.
love. I love it
Yo,
so
I
much.
can't even see y'all, but I love y'all for real.
Yeah, so please keep sending Shaka love so she can hear it.
All
So
the
she
love.
can see it.
I can see it. I can feel it.
So we got another question from Vanessa Miller, and they said, "Love your work, Shaka. It really captures the essence of humanity and the bustle of NYC. Do you have tips for folks just beginning their street photography journey?"
I'll say honestly, like, go with what feels good to you. You know, it don't gotta be in the rules of third and all of these angles and all of that. Like, shoot what really makes you feel good. Because at the end of the day, it's your story. Like,
Yeah.
what do you want to tell people? Most importantly, what do you want to tell yourself? Because you're looking through your work. And if it feels good to you, like, do it. I did it. I'm self-taught. You know, how I learned some things is going on YouTube. Shout out to that because it's free. You know, you
Mm.
go in there, you capture the vibes and the essence, and that's what brings everything to life. You know, so I always believe in like doing what feels good to you. Do what feels good to you. Like, love what you do, and be confident as well. You know, I think, you know, if I can do it, and it's a testament, right? If I can do it, we all can do it. Real talk.
How do you,
I'm supporting everybody out here doing it.
yes, truly. How do you think following that can help someone with a creative block? Like, how do you get through creative blocks yourself?
I get through my creative blocks by like, oh gosh, listen to music and just dancing. You know, I'm really inspired by a lot of artists, especially music.
Yeah.
Like, it's, how can I describe it? It's a vibe. Like, if I'm listening to a certain music on my phone and I'm in a city and I'm feeling it, I'm like, there's a story here. Like, I really can tap into this whole world. And I've always been like this. I call myself like a rock star. I've always been in my like rock star world, and
Yeah.
I'm very comfortable in my own little world. I think being your true authentic self is just so beautiful. And when you fully like love who you are and just comfortable with yourself, it really unfolds in a way where you don't have to describe it to anybody else but yourself. And I've always been that way. So I'm like, if I'm listening to a certain music, if I want to be inspired, I listen to this, or I listen to a little bit of rock, I listen to a little jazz, or I just watch good movies, like I'll watch Power Rangers, the movies, I don't care.
Yes.
I be in my, I be in my own, I be in my own creative vibe, and I tap into that inner child. Like I bring her out a lot when I'm out in the street taking pictures.
That's
I don't
so.
forget, yeah, it's very important. Like it's very important to know who you are and what makes you feel good.
What do
So,
you think? What do you think your younger self photographs the most?
oh my God. I think being on the train. I
Yeah.
think it's I feel I be sitting on the train. You know how when you're a kid, your feet would swing a little bit, because
Yeah.
you can't touch the ground. It can't touch the ground. Or I'm looking through the window, the glass window, and I'm watching the train moves, and I'm hearing the train like the sound, or staying clear of the closing doors. Like it's this type of energy that I used to see when I was a kid, and
Yeah.
now I'm an adult. I can appreciate it a lot different, and I tap more into that. Or I'll go into the park, I'll watch people play, or kids running around, or hearing the sound of people like being excited and joy. Those type of things brings like my inner child fully out. I'm like, okay, I gotta capture these moments, you know?
I'm so glad you said that because I realized in asking you that I've never really thought about what my younger self is photographing. And
Mm.
I kind of I feel like I'm usually present while photographing, but I'm like, I'm having fun when I'm shooting. I love it there. That's my favorite time over the pre-production, over post-production, and I love it all. But when I'm shooting, I feel super present and super excited. And it just has me wondering, like, when is younger me really showing up when I'm shooting? What is she like the most? And I think that's a really good, look, you just keep giving me these journal prompts. I think that's a
I
really
say,
good
Chrissy, hold on. I'm like, what
yeah.
about you, girl? What about what brings you joy? Yeah.
Goodness, that's amazing. I'm gonna have to sit on that for a minute because I love this idea that like different parts of us are showing up for some shot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's the part where the creativity really shines through, right? Like we still got that inner child in us. I like to color in my little coloring book. You know what I'm saying? I like to do a little dance in the street. I don't care who's watching. Like really embracing this moment of also being alive. Being very present where you are right now in this moment of time. Because life be lifing.
Life be life
Life be
in.
lifing. Life is happening. A lot of things is going around in the world, but it's like art saves lives. Shout out to my wife be saying that. Art saves
Our
lives.
lives.
Okay. And as artists, it is our duty to bring people joy, bring people peace. And I think that's very important, taking this role as an artist and saying that we create art. Yeah, we create it for ourselves, but we also give life and hope and inspire others as well.
Yeah. Is your wife also a photographer?
Yeah, she's a photographer, so we work together. She inspires me all the time. Like I tell her, I'm one of your biggest fans. Like I love her work, and I'm like, ooh. I was like, how do you do that? I
Yeah.
said, now I gotta like level it up, level it up a little bit. But yeah,
That's
I
so
think it's
beautiful.
a thank you. Shout outs. First of all, it's Pride Month. So shout outs to all the queer people out here. Come on. Big
Hey, happy
ourselves up.
Pride. And if
If
you're
you're
a
the
Black
black,
woman photographer with another Black woman photographer wife, happy Pride to
happy
you.
Pride,
Yeah,
big up ourselves, sharing the
true.
love to the community, representing us.
We got just a comment real quick from Anonymous that says your work displays it's not only about the camera, but the storytelling. Love your skill in art. Shout out to that.
Yeah, y'all
Um,
amazing.
and then Leia says, how do you decide which Lightroom edit goes best with certain photos?
Honestly, I just go with like the vibrations. Like if it's a gray day, I like to do like black and white. I keep it very simple. I like my work to be very clean, not too much editing, not too much polish, like just very clean, very raw. Um, if it's a lot like bright colors, I also like to enhance that as well.
Yeah.
But I keep it very simple. I don't do like shouts to Lightroom, like it gives you those type of like access to bring your work to a certain like level where you want it to be when it comes to editing. It doesn't give you too much like I don't use too much filters. I keep it very, very simple. I let the work speak for itself in that
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Hey, it makes me feel like you just letting the world speak for itself. Like you just show.
Yes. Just keep it cute, keep it simple.
Yeah. We also got Kennedy in the chat that says, besides Chinatown, what are some of your other favorite locations to take photos in NYC? Side note, your work is amazing, and I'm also from NY, and I knew you were from NY from the
Yo,
minute.
yo, yo, yo.
True. The
Big
accent
ups.
is heavy.
Big ups to NYC, baby. You already know what it is.
Yeah, they
Um,
crazy in the chat right now. That's so beautiful. I love that you're saying
woo!
that feedback. That's so cool.
I love photographing like even like East Harlem, Spanish Harlem. The culture down there is strong. Like the Puerto Ricans be coming out, baby. And I love photographing in Harlem. It's a whole world in itself. I'm from Mount Vernon, uptown, so it ain't too far to get into Harlem. So I really do enjoy shooting in Manhattan, to be honest. I think Manhattan is just like I love Brooklyn. I ain't going to knock Brooklyn. I love my Brooklyn peoples. I love y'all. You always got love. You know what I'm saying? But I'm an uptown girl, so I love shooting the Bronx as well. It's a different world in there. I think anybody who visits New York, go visit the Bronx. It's beautiful there. It gives you real New York. It's very gritty. The love there is just impeccable as well. So those are the places that I Chinatown and also the Bronx is like in East Harlem is like my spot to go to.
That makes me think, do you feel like you capture different cities different?
I
Different.
do. I do. I think it's based on like vibrations. You
Mhm.
know, the certain cities will give me the energy that I'm seeking. You know, if I'm like in Montreal, it's different here in Montreal in Canada. So I have moments where it's a different vibration. It's very laissez-faire, and I'm seeing people, especially in the summertime, people are outside, people are just capturing like the energy, and I'm like, oh, this is different than it is in New York. You know, it's not so crowded. So I feel like that's a challenge for me because I'm so used to a lot of people, and it's just like everything just moving. And in Montreal, it's very laissez-faire. It's like a different vibration, but I'm capturing this beautiful essence of the city that people wouldn't see. I'm like, oh, this is different. You
Yeah.
know,
Do you feel
it's,
like that's
it's
your approach?
I think that, yeah, it's definitely my approach of like what I'm looking for. And then the people that I'm around too, like they show me around the city, and you know, I have like good friends out here. Like, oh, you can see this and you can see that. If I'm in Atlanta, it's a different vibration as well. You know, I have people who are there who will show me parts of the city that I've never seen before. Now I'm like, okay, how far can we go? Like, I now want to really adventure into like certain parts of the city that you wouldn't go. Like, show me something different. You know, I like to ask questions as well. Like, what's the best spot? What's the most gritty spot? You know,
Mm,
like I want to see real people doing
yeah.
real things.
I feel like being a street photographer requires you to be alone a lot. Um,
Mm-hmm.
how do you think that shows up in like how you're able to build community with even just other street photographers? Like, has anybody ever seen you on the street and was also a photographer and was like, yo, or like oppositely?
I had that once. It kind of caught me off guard. I was like, damn, like some people, oh, but don't coming up with me like that. What's wrong with you?
Right.
No, but but it's all love. Like there's also like photo walks you can
Yeah.
do. You know, I seen Black women photography. They do that as well. So shout outs to that. You know what I'm saying? Because you build community. You know, people will like vibe with you. I think that's very important. I normally do it by myself a lot. Me, my wife did her best to do it with me, and I was like, "Oh, you're in the way, like you're in the way, baby. You're in my shots. You're in my shots."
It's
Because
so
when
good
I'm
to know though. Like,
yeah, because when I'm in a vibe, I'm in a vibe. When I see things, I'm like, "You're in my shot. You got to move this way." But no, it's also good for support. You know, it's good to have someone see something that's different that you wouldn't see. You know, when we take pictures together, her eye and my eye is completely different. She's very portrait. I'm
mm,
very like I want to capture the moments. Like
yeah.
let me get this. So it's always a challenge in a way where, we can go out and photograph people or just photograph the streets. And she inspires me to take pictures in a different way. I'm like, oh, I never thought about it like that. So I think, having like those photo walks is also dope because everyone sees things differently.
Yeah.
And then y'all all could come together like, yo, look what I captured. What about this? What about that? I'm like, oh, this is a dope way to learn from one another and to build a relationship and to build community. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I love the idea also that you guys get to collaborate so much. Um, how do you how do you feel like that works for you guys as a couple? And of course, like you don't have to get personal or anything,
Yeah,
but
that's good.
balancing relationship and career when it's like mended in that way, like how was that
Mm.
for you?
I think we've been together for 6 years. I think we built this communication with each other where we respect each other as artists, communication, being open to critique. I think that's very important because everyone sees things differently. I've learned so much being with her. Like, you're going to get some feedback that might not feel good. You're like, oh my god, damn. I'm like, it gotta be like that, but I'm like, oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
Like she always say, what story you want to capture? Like, how do you want to tell your story? I'm like, oh, that's different. Even writing more. Lately I've been taking pictures and I'm writing now with my work, working on projects where it's more intention. I'm being more intentional what I want to capture, being more present now with, the work, the fact that she's a, portraiture, she does everything's different for her. She's very detailed. I'm very free. I'm like, oh, I'm catching the vibes, baby. We out here.
Yeah.
She's like, hold on, Shakka. I gotta be like, I gotta be like. And then when I come out, I'm like, baby, you just gotta be free. She's like, okay, I get
Right.
it. Like, and it works. It just flows together, and I love that I work with someone who sees me, I see her, and then we just come together and we just vibrate.
Yeah.
It's a love thing.
Come on, love thing.
Come on, come on. Listen, y'all ain't ready for me, baby. Where we at?
Okay, I want to take it back to the chat real quick because I love this question. It's a two-parter by KT Graves. So, first question is, what do you feel or think is the Afro future of street photography?
What I think is the Afro future
Yeah, the
of
Afro,
street photography. That's deep.
right?
Cause I'm like, damn. Um, wow, that's really deep. Cause I'm like, I never really thought about that.
Right? Where I'm like it kind of hit me a little bit and it's making me imagine a few things. So let me ask the second question too, because maybe it might help you just ideate a little bit. But they also say, how can we start imagining ways that street photography can liberate Black folks?
Ooh. I think I think really like your community, you know, where you grew up at. Like, I grew up in Mount Vernon, money earning baby all day, and Mount Vernon had really my Mount Vernon really made me who I am. It's the community I went to. I it made me want to also get out of Mount Vernon. Like it was like, okay, this is not just it for me. Like I know there's other parts and other boroughs and other cities where there's Black people just really out here doing it. You
Yeah.
know, I'm inspired by not just hip hop, but like and rock and roll has a lot of like Black people doing things. So I think when it comes to street photography, you see that around you. The playgrounds, you see the barbecues, you see the cookouts. You see Black people just making it work with what we got and shining bright in it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, like you can do that with street photography as well. You can push the boundaries and making it work with the tools that you have.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Afro Future, I think things are changing so much. Like we're really out here really doing it. And you're seeing the stories of a Black community unfolding in front of you. And it's been an honor to capture the things around me, especially in the Black community. A lot of my work is also not just, with Black people, it's just people in general. It's just life in general. Like everyone out here is doing it. We all are one,
Yeah.
you know. and there's no me without you. You know, we're all connected in this. So I trust that I answered their question the best way I can. But I
Yeah,
think it's like making it work.
yeah. I feel like I'm taking this question with me. Like, really, it
Take
makes
it,
me
girl.
imagine what how when I participate in street photography, how that might be impacting Afrofuturism and our Afro futures. I think I think it gives me a lot to think about, especially thinking about like how AI is becoming way more prevalent in art and like
Yeah.
where that means what that means for Black artists in general. Um, in good and bad ways, like how we can use that and harness that to create new Afrofuturistic ideas with
Mm-hmm.
within other niches. But you know, I feel like it's such a huge spectrum. I love this question so much, KT.
Well, yeah, that's real deep. Shout outs, shout outs, shout outs. You know, when we talk about AI, like we all know like things are moving, things are constantly changing, right? You gotta flow with what's here in the times. But one thing I'll say AI can't do is capture real essence of real people. Like I'm
Right.
talking about like realness, you know, real humans, real energy. And I think, you know, with street photography, especially in the Black community, it's a different vibration. There's a lot of love there. There's a lot of love there. Whether you're struggling or not, there's so much beauty in our community. And when we capture it, whether it's street photography, whether it can be portraiture or any of those elements, we're capturing realness unlike any other. And I think
Yeah.
that's so magical what we do. Like for real, for real.
Yeah. It got me thinking. It's like street photography might be the thing that saves us, really. In comparison to AI, like
Okay.
how can you recreate street photography? You can't do it. It's
You
just
can't
really
do it. You capture the moments, it is what it is, and you go about your business. That's a fact.
it's about to be a new revolution, I think.
Ooh,
We
I'm
all got
here for it.
photographers. Come on.
Come on, where we at?
And we got one last question for you that I feel like everybody always asks. Can you let us know how you earn a living as a street photographer? Like, what are the different avenues you can take to make money?
I'm gonna keep it a bug. It has its highs and it has its lows. You
Yeah.
know, like a lot of people, you know, I don't go in the studio and do what everybody else do. And I think what y'all do is absolutely magical, like realness. Like and with street photography, like the only way you will really get like seen is either you do a show, which I've done. I funded it myself out of my own pocket. You know, like you gotta invest in yourself. Like
Yeah.
I love my people, I love everybody, but if we can go on trips and pay $2,000 to fly around the world and stuff, you can do a show. Even if
Yeah.
it's something that's very small, it could be in your house. You got people come into your space and pay a little something to see your work. I've been blessed with opportunities where you know you network. I have no problems knocking on people's doors. A closed mouth don't get fed.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you don't use the tools around you like social media, like Instagram, hitting people in their DMs, emailing people, like, yo, I got this to show you, you know, hitting up publications, it won't happen for you. Like I've been blessed with the opportunity to do that. And like I said, you have the highs and you have the lows. You got the money coming in, you might got a little stop. But when
Yeah.
you got a little support around you, people who really believe in you and will push you and will buy your prints, like that says a lot. You never know. Like for me, like when I did that video for BWP, real talk, every person that comment in that video, I made sure I comment right back.
Yeah.
Like not just a heart, like I'm writing you back and saying thank you for seeing me. That stuff like that really, really matters. I think
Yeah.
we know getting out of this thing where it's just like, okay, you know, I want to be instant famous. It's like your community is also the ones who's really see you. Reach into your community, man. Like make sure you share people's work as well. Like if I
Yeah.
see somebody work is dope, man, I'm putting it on my stories. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't hurt nobody to support. Support is free. You
That's
know,
true.
I think you gotta support your people, you gotta support people who's doing amazing things and it comes right back. It really does. You see where I'm at, y'all. You know
Come
what I'm
on.
saying? I'm in this I'm on this panel, and shout outs to Polly, shout outs to you, Chris, you know, like seeing me having this conversation, and shout outs to all the women out here on the panel really doing it, because if it's definitely possible. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know who's in this chat, but hey, it might be somebody who got, you know, a big old bag. You see me, baby.
Exactly. Come on.
Come on, hello. See me, you know, and it's being kind, the act of kindness and showing love and being dedicated to your work and being consistent. Being consistent every day. Go out there and do your very best.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Man, Shakka,
Yo.
I appreciate you.
Come on, sis. I appreciate you
Gonna drop some
too.
bars on this.
Come on, y'all better stop. You ain't ready for me, baby. You ain't ready for me.
And you really
Listen.
did. I'm super, super grateful. Everybody in the chat is super grateful. You had New York here.
I
Super.
love y'all.
That is
I
so,
love y'all.
I'm super grateful. Thank y'all again for popping in on this conversation. We got one more before the day is done, so please come back for that. All of this is free, so please tell any friends that aren't photographers or men, non-binary people, because
Everybody.
you don't gotta be a woman to learn from a woman. So
That's
make
a
sure
fact.
you tell people in here, RSVP, it's free, just like all our other educational resources, because we want to just provide like just complete access for Black women photographers to learn something, to gain something. And we're so grateful. But before I leave, can I take a screenshot of that?
Yes, you can, girl. Hold on.
Right, we gotta pose. Perfect.
Woo!
Thank you. All right, thank
Thank
y'all.
you.
Later.
All the love, y'all.